with our new vulnerability, and that would be our port swagger, and this section would be our dietary traversal attack. So dietary traversal is one of the critical attack on the vast top 10, which is basically used for an attacker get sensitive access to the many of the database. Means the files, not the database, the files which can be accessible over there easily. So over here you can see in the session they're gonna explain how a loading image with the file name which is gif.png, how it will be affected, because the gif.php is a file which is stored on the server side. You have to clarify the entire URL section. So you can see over here how a simple load image can be affected over here on the server side, which is your dot dot forward slash. Dot dot forward slash is basically used to jump up the directories one by one on the server side. It means if you look over here, I'm going to use a directory called like your user share and map. Script. Okay, this was a directory. That's why. I'm just giving you an example. Script. No name file of script over here. Scripts. That was scripts. See, this is a proper directory of the file where we can get access. Suppose if I want to access the script directory of the nmap, so how would it look like? See this one. Some people attackers, they simply try to execute the file path like this one. But if you can give the name of that specific file, just having, okay, I was simply trying to jump that file. Okay, so it was not over here. But most of the people, they try to simply jump to the directory over here. Dot dot forward slash, if you know the exactly file path of the server. Or I was simply like to do this one. I will like to try this one. Cat, if I know the user directory, dot dot forward slash and map script. No, again this is not working. And why this happened? Because I was simply trying to jump the directory over there, but it didn't happen. So dot dot forward slash over here, it basically means get to the root directory. So our major objective over here is to simply check all the possibilities one by one. So how an attacker can simply check for the files on the server side. Look. Most important thing is how we can identify. How we can identify all the possibilities one by one. Each and every parameter. Think about the parameter value. Parameter values are the important thing. As I mentioned before, a domain name could be anything. A file type will be there. A file type which has a programming language with the parameter is equal to value. So our main objective over here, a domain would be xyz.com. The file type could be anything. For example, they are using load image with a question mark and the file name, the parameter they are saying xss.png. Remember one thing, this is the solution of each and everything. If you understand the URL section, the URL, it will be easy for understanding all the vulnerabilities all over the web application part. So our major objective over here is to understand how the web application works. Look, file, anything which is related to your database, it could be anything. your file type, your image file, your anything related to the directory part. See this one, dietary traversal, which is also known as path traversal. Path traversal means jump to the directories to access the sensitive information from the server side, and that could be happen with the help of, if you can see the URL of the response code. First thing first, check the behavior of the application. The behavior means the response code from the server side, which is 200. You can see over here on the screen, it is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to read and arbitrary files. Read and arbitrary files on the server that is running an application. To read arbitrary files. Arbitrary files means some of the sensitive information or some of the malicious information on the server side. This might include application code or data. Credential for backend systems like your sensitive operating system files. In some cases, an attacker might be able to write an arbitrary files on the server, allowing them to modify application or behavior, or ultimately take the control of the server. A dietary traversal can do a lot of things. This path is also known as file inclusion vulnerability. File inclusion vulnerability is a vulnerability which can be also used to get the arbitrary code or read the sensitive information from the server side, which is running an application part. So our major objective over here is to simply enhance or simply check all the possibilities one by one. So how does it look like? Remember, the arbitrary files should be your Java. In the backend side, you will see something like this one. A load image is the parameter, is the file type with the file name and the parameter value. The image source where the data is flowing from. And see, they are taking a shopping application for this one. And the most important thing is the load image URL. Take a file name parameter and returns the content of the specific file. As I mentioned, the specific file is this one from the server side. See, backend side, they have mentioned that this value is stored on the var www image directory. What is the var www image directory? The var www image directory is considered as the Apache server. var www, where you can host your applications over here one by one. And if you want to host your server application also, HTML forms, you can simply make your folder over here, which kind of files that you want to store and what other things. For example, let me show you over here. I'm going to make a folder over here with a touch command, and that would be my image directory. So I have installed an image directory over here. Oh, this was a file over here. So let's do a folder. Sorry. That was mkdir, make directory. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to install a picture. Let's take any of the picture over here. Let's have this one. So I'm going to store this one over here on my var directory image file. And what I have to do over here, let's check what other ports are running in the backend server. So let's start ANTUP, and over here I can see these are the applications, these are the local services which is running in my backend server. So the main objective over here, we have to run the Apache server, which is basically used to host your web application on the local area network. So the command would be service Apache to start. Service Apache to start. Okay, let's see over here status. Pardon me. So the port 80 is running over here in the backend server. So let's try have a look. Yes, port 80 is running. So what we're gonna do over here, we're gonna try all the possibilities. Let's have a look. See this one. My Apache server is running, and now what I'm gonna do, if you know the full path of your file, so it would be really helpful. For example, that was on your image directory. So it was image. Yes. So this application which is running over here on the server side on the var directory. So it would be like you can write localhost also. this application was running in my HTML part, which is FB HTML. And if I want to run this file, which is over here, the image directory, I have to specify the name also, because this data will be fetched from the server side with my local machine. Okay, but for this connectivity, I have to run the XAMPP server. Otherwise, I have to move this file on the HTML server, because I was creating a new folder. See this one now. So what, and this is the basic thing which they are describing, that where www image directory will be a storage path of the specific file which is stored on the server side. All we can see is the front end of the server. So how an attacker simply gain access? See this one. An application appends requested file names to the basic directory that uses a file system API application to read a content of the file. For example, they have given a proper file path which is can be described as where www image directory or the file name which is stored on the specific file location. So let's have a look on the web application part, which is vulnerable part. The application implements no defense against directory traversal attack. See, implementation means the input validation part over here. So attacker can request the following URL to retrieve arbitrary. Arbitrary means your malicious files. Remember these things. These are the common words over there. The URL something like this: your insecurewebsite.com, load image and file name, and .. /. What exactly this .. / means over here? This caused the application to read the following path. Let's see, where www image. This was the file path where the file will be stored or retrieved. So the .. / etc password. Etc password is the folder which contains your username and usernames of the server. For example, see this one. Cat etc password, which will show you all the usernames on the specific server. Our major objective would be to check all the possibilities one by one, which can be lead us for information gathering part. So, what exactly this .. means over here? The first .. The sequence, the .. is a valid within a path file. It means step up one level in the directory structure. See, step up to the next directory. We are jumping the directory one by one. 3 .. / means 3 directory jump. The 3 you can see consecutive .. / sequence step up from where www image to the file system, file root system. So the file that is actually read is etc password. The first .. / is the root of the file. The root of the file means, see this one. The root of the file is this. The /. If you write ls, you can see all the binary functions over here. See this one. Now the / has been removed. If you write ls, you will see something home directory. The home directory which contains some desktop, some documents, some downloads directory. And if you go to the root directory, it will give you all the binary functions, the architecture of your server. And the etc directory, the etc folder is over here. That's why the cd / is over there to get the file access on the server side. If you are over here on this directory, suppose if you are on the where directory, where www. Let's have a look over here. Cat etc password. I was just trying, and you can see we can get access to the where www directory. Why? Because I basically was jumping a directory over here for the root directory and get to the access of the file from the specific folder. And where I'm right now, I'm on the bad directory. See, if I do pwd, you can see I'm on the directory called bad www, which is a different source. The path traversal is basically to fetch the files from the server side with the jumping of the directory. See this one, the better understanding. They have given a proper path. Once you have based operating system, this is the standard containing details of the user registered on the server. See, they have given the Windows also. On Windows, both dot forward slash and dot backslash are valid directory traversal sequence. Yeah, we know this one. The dot forward slash is basically to get to the forward to the directory, and dot backslash is to get to the root of the file. So, what from the file system, if the server is a Windows server, there would be some different files, just like a Windows VN INA file. Let's try have a look on a simple part. But the most important thing is how the first dot forward slash is means over here. Let's try to copy this one. Okay, so the first dot slash is basically to root path. And the second one and the last one I'm saying, the last one, get access to the file path, exact file path. Start with the first binary, first path, then get to the root of the file, which is your dot forward slash, last one. And this one is basically step up directories. So our major responsibility will be to check all the possibilities one by one. Let's have a look on the first one. How does it work? File path traversal simple case. This lab contains a file traversal attack vulnerability display on the project file. You can simply check over here also. The same thing is given out there. To solve the lab, retrieve the content of the etc file password. But we're gonna check the solution first of all. So those are new in this file. They have look. There's nothing bad to see the solutions. There's a lot of things can happen over there. So use burpsuit to intercept and modify the request that fetches a product image. Modify the file name parameter. Give it to the value etc password and observe the response contain the content of the part. Look. Let's have a Lexus. So over here, you can see a shop file. We like to shop. We have a home directory also. The home directory is the same thing. So they have given some images over here, sarcastic 9 balls, some BBQ suitcase. Let's try have a look over here, any of this one. Let's try with the six-pack beer belt. Let's see what we can find over here. So over here, I can see they have given proper path, and they have given some descriptions. And in the URL section, what I can get over here, they have given the product ID is equal to 4. So that would be a different thing. Let's try to intercept the request first of all, because this is an image file which is from the server side, and we're gonna fetch the file, and if we can try to manipulate or simply check one by one all the possibilities, that could be lead us for information part. So let's try the burp suite on. Let's click on this one, view image, and over here I can see the packet. So let's see where the packet is. We have a product ID is equal to 4. Let's try to forward the packet. We have a get parameter. First of all, when you are simply if you're simply checking all the files, check all the request headers. Let's try to forward one. So this is academy labor. They have given this one a normal thing. Let's forward one more time, which is a post method. See, this is a post method where a client will be post something, and we have some data on this over here, which is your base track, digest, cache control. Let's see, forward one more time. We get the access over here. Okay, let's try one more time, and this time we're gonna try to simply intercept the packet again, and let's see. Forward. So we have an image with the parameter. So let's try over here. So we're gonna try the repeater over here. We're gonna send the request to the repeater because we're gonna try to do some modification over there. So we're gonna what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop the packet. The packet has been intercepted over here. So over here we're gonna try all the possibilities one by one. So let's try over here as the image file name, which is a file path from the server side. So let's try one by one. So 38.image. Let's try. Sorry, it was equal to etc password. Can we get access to the etc password? No such file. Let's try // Yes, we have an access. As I mentioned you before, that sometimes it will direct the query. If you are not using the file // it will also be execute the etc password file. But over here, as we know, get to the root file and get to the root of the access file. As we can see over here, there are lots of other things can we do over here one by one. You can try for more further things. For example, if you check for the Dietary Traversal Medium reports, Medium is one of the best websites for learning or simply noting down all your queries one by one. // all image for free. See, image etc password. Oh, I have to log in. Sorry, can't do that. The most important thing is, you can see over here, path traversal, which is also known as local file inclusion, which is your LFI. And LFI is the most common vulnerability till now. Why? Also vulnerable to attacker to potentially gain some sensitive information or read about arbitrary codes. See over here. Potential allows an attacker to view sensitive documents or files on the server. It can also read remote code execution, denial of service, but therefore jumping on that local file inclusion LFI, they have given understanding. File handling or inclusion function. The most important thing is the web application part is a poor code written over there. There's always a poor code. That's why the website get hacked or something happened. Something suspicious happened. So you can see over here, the most important thing is the code over here. They have given a normal code, where they have given application root directory, which is home directory, method post, okay, def home, file name request.forum, which is a file name. If file name is equal to default.txt, open file.read, read function, return to the render index.html file. So over here they have given a simple code, which is simply showing that it should be a post method. The file should be uploaded over there, and it should be a txt file. Okay, they have given the file name type. So they have given the read function also over there. to check the render part. So this one, web application may use files or includes code or view text files from the present or the hosted on the same server. In order to do that, web application may be use reading mechanism. The reading mechanism is important. So over here, the most important thing is to simply understand how the application works. Because see over here, all you can do is page is equal to one.php, file is equal to content, home directory is index.php in the HTML. You will see something like this one. See, given below are the URLs which can be also called file inclusion as get method. Get method means the data which is transferring from the URL section. It is not always necessary that the URL will have an inclusion function. Inclusion function. As they have mentioned, the inclusion is the important part. The file, see the file name which is over here. File file name parameters job is to read contents from the file present on the server, and these actions of reading file can be influenced by the user. While writing the code, in the intention of this developer would have been just managed to user selection, input file, or the content of the present on the same server. The most important thing is the sensitive information can be leak over there. What the developer would not aware of the threats, its amount of control may be giving away. See, they have given why I prefer medium reports, because I simply use 3 or 4 reports and get the most common things what they are simply describing on their notes. This is a sample Python script in the similar server-side request can be written to do. But the most important thing is the parameter value or the file type to understand how it looks like. See, the post method which is created over here. This is a simple post request from the server side. A post request is created by the local host on the port number 5000, and the file which is transferring is the name is file name, and the file text is your text intro.txt. The intro.txt and the name will be the disaster one. So what could be the possibilities? Finding path traversal vulnerability is fairly easy. In order to find such vulnerability, one should be able to perform the following tasks: enumerate inclusion functions. Test the enumerated inclusion functions. Inclusion function means the reading function over there, the file path, the traversal, and the lots of things. And see, example, they have given the proper example. What can be happen over there if there is a file path? What you can try, or what else you can try? See, the first one is the root dietary sequence separator. They have given the same thing, and this guy is using other websites. Post methods. Hmm. So see this one. They have given a application. They have given an application which is known as .pwm. .pwm is basically used to simplify the any dietary traversal attack or path traversal attack. You can see over here. .prawn isn't actually hard to guess all possible payload of the file path and the different environment. Don't worry. .prawn is an amazing dietary path traversal fuzzer tool. Fuzzer. The most important thing is the fuzzing. Fuzzing means you're testing. You have to test all the parameter values which you found over there. First testing is a quality assurance technique that involves sending a random data into the massive amount and get unexpected response. So .pawn help with fuzz or test the most possible file path, and is also a feature that lets the pen tester determine the depth of the traversal attack. Or they have given a proper URL path. But see this one, they have mentioned the page is equal to also. -M stands for method, which is a HTTP or HTTPS. -H for host, the IP address, and the URL where the page is over there. It's gonna try all the possibilities one by one, like this one. If you want to use this one, you can try to check over here. Dot dot E1 get them. See, they have given a proper how you can install the missing modules using the following rule. All things is given over here, descriptions. See what they're gonna try. They're gonna try all the possibilities one by one. These are the words they're gonna try. See, you can see boot.ini file. These are for Windows. Some of the servers are basically block the buffer memory, so they are using some buffer to get the access on the file systems. So in this scenario, the most important thing is to simply understand how other application works in the different scenarios. Let's try a different one. So let's try with the common obstacles to exploit the 5-path traversability. Common obstacles. Many applications that place user input file path implement some kind of defense against for path traversability. Defense means they're gonna block the // or they can simply block anything. If any application stripes and block directly traversal sequence from the user supplied file name, then it might be possible to bypass the defense using a variety of techniques. You might be able to use any upstream path from the file system root, such as your file name, etc. password, to directory reference without using the traversal sequence. Means, in a layman language, if they are blocking the // you can simply execute any queries from directly over there. Use the verbs to intercept and modify the request and fetch the file from the server. And there are many further things can happen. So use verb suite, modify the file name parameter, give the value etc password. Let's have a look at this one. So let's try to intercept the request. Let's have a look over here. // etc password. No such file. Why? Because this might be blocked by the server-side defense mechanism. See, sometimes the server side will block the // so you have to think, without this one, how it would be possible with defense mechanism, the strike back. So over here, we need to try one by one all the possibilities till we get the proper sequence value. So there are many challenges over here. See, they have given you might be able to use nested traversal sequence such as dot double forward slash. Why? Because they're gonna block the first dot slash, but you still have the next one, which can be revert the simple traversal sequence. Then the inner sequence is striped. This technique is basically used to simply check the file path and can be used in further stages. You can see we might be able to use various non-stages encoding, such as you can simply encode the forward slash part, encode the slash part over here. See this one. What exactly this was? I'm just copying this one and let's use the decoder. So decode as URL. Okay, so it was decode as plain text. Mm, okay, they are using something. Hashtag. Okay, this was also your part. You can see file path traversal sequence striped with a supervised URL encode. So there are lots of challenges over here. Let's try a look.